Hey everyone, welcome back to Lady Empire. I have such an amazing guest here with me tonight. Tracy, thank you so much for being here.
Oh, thank you, Al. I'm excited to join you today.
Awesome. So, I first just want to dive right in and get to it. I want to learn more about your childhood and where you grew up. So, give us a little background on that.
Okay. Yeah, great. I'm from Virginia. I'm still in Virginia. I grew up in Norfolk, Virginia, and the area is very military heavy. So we have the largest naval base in the world. Of course, the Port of Virginia. So very, technology based, throughout my entire life. So that played heavily into a lot of my decisions, where I am today and my career. So, but great family. I was the first person to go to college in my family. My mother eventually went as an adult, but the first person. Mhm.
That's awesome. So, were you part of a military family then?
No, actually, I wasn't. The family long history back in Virginia, but my father did work for the Naval Safety Center, and databases and a lot of big computers back then, and where they really analyzed any mechanical failures or accidents to improve the safety of the aircraft. So he worked for the Navy. Mhm.
Wow, very cool. So, do you think that played a role at all into you sort of getting this interest in STEM and IT and technology? Do you think that played any role at all in growing your interest in that?
Oh, yes, absolutely. So I was the oldest child. I have one brother, but my father, I always liked math, immediately, was gravitated toward it. And then my father knew that this was going to be a growing field, talked to me a lot about it. And then I had that great high school teacher, that said, "Hey, would you like to try programming? We can do a pull out, from a class and learn. And as soon as you make computers, program and they do things for you." I was hooked right then. Mhm.
Wow. So, did you study STEM in college then as well?
Yes, I majored in computer science. A lot of men in the field, a few women back then, and I had actually, my father had shown me Bureau of Labor statistics about the growth potential, and that was 40 years ago, if you can believe it. And we're still starved for more computer scientists in this country. So, but
Yeah.
that's how I got my start.
Yeah, and I was just thinking about that as I asked that too, is thinking about the male presence in those classes, right? I never took any computer science in college. I think we had to take, the basic math, whatever the college math is. And I never thought about people who actually majored in these subjects, how male dominated and that male presence are in those classrooms. So did you feel ever intimidated at all or just like uncomfortable and just like, I shouldn't be here as a woman in this type of a classroom in this type of an environment, or where did you really get that confidence to say, hey, I belong here. I deserve to be here with these guys next to them. I'm just as smart as them. Where did you sort of develop that confidence?
I think growing up, I was never told you can't do something. I never even knew some women faced barriers. And then the college I went to, Virginia Tech, it's heavy engineering, so the university is a lot of male anyway, no matter what you majored in. So, but no, I think we were accepted if you were part of a group project and you pulled your weight. I mean, I don't think anyone cared, what your gender was. So I've really been blessed and never felt the barriers at all. So.
Oh, that's good. That's good. And, I want to dive deeper into your role currently, but I just want to learn a little bit more about what drew you towards working with different sectors of the US federal government. I know that that's a, highly classified, very particular sector. And, what sort of drew your interest towards working in that line of business?
Mhm. Yeah, great question. As I said, I grew up around the military. I mean, I see jets flying almost every day in our area. And when I got out of college, I went to work for a defense contractor right away, programming radar systems for a ship. Really enjoyed it. Actually, went and joined the government as a civilian for 5 years, working on submarine combat systems. And the complexity of it and the difficulty of it is very interesting. I mean, the things have to work, but also the national security piece, being part of protecting this great country, is very rewarding. And then I left and went to the private sector and did a few things. And then 10 years ago, joined with two partners, G2 Ops, because we wanted to bring a lot of that private sector technology and expertise into particularly the Navy. So, try to bring some of the new techniques and things.
That's so cool. And I want to talk about, you slightly mentioned it there, your role that you're currently in now, which is CEO of G2 Ops, which is an IT engineering and cybersecurity company that serves the US Navy and other parts of the federal government, also some commercial clients as well. So, talk to us a little bit about how you got started in this role, and how you really were able to establish yourself in this type of a role as a CEO in such a male dominated industry.
Mhm. Mhm. It's something I have to work on every day. It's all about preparation. I still get intimidated, meeting with an admiral or a captain, because I never served in the military. Whether
Right.
you're male or female, if you've never experienced what they've experienced, but it's being prepared. But they just want to work with competent, excellent people that can get the job done. And that's what I've learned, prepare and make sure our projects are delivered with quality, and business then flourishes, when you do that. And that's really for any business.
Absolutely. And, I'm just thinking through another piece to your line of business and your role specifically. Maybe if you've had some different challenges in being a woman in this field. I know you sort of mentioned already that you haven't really felt, super left out or uncomfortable at all. But, maybe in this particular role as a female CEO in this industry, any sort of challenges that you were really able to overcome, and how you were able to overcome those.
Yeah, I think, being from the South, I'm slightly introverted. I mean, I have to make myself be proactive. Even that book that came out, Lean In, I read it and I'm like, that's me. That was me throughout my career, not sitting at the table, sitting on the side. But I always made sure when I had something to say, I tried to think about it, so that I want to represent women well also. So that's kind of a burden also. But really just being proactive, learning to read the room, emotional intelligence, all these things, all these great traits that we have as women, that are easy, inherent for us, tapping into all that. So yeah, it's still hard, a lot of our executives at our company are males. We have one female vice president who just got her doctorate in computer science, and but sometimes we have to elbow our way into a conversation still.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny, not really, but just men are different from us, and
Mhm.
just understanding that, knowing that, but how you dress and poise, and just really, I think the biggest thing for me has always just been me being prepared, because that gave me the confidence in the back of my head, that you should be, it's okay that you're here, you're ready, for any challenge.
Yeah, and you bring up such a great point too around confidence. And I think that's the biggest thing for women in this industry or in your type of a role, right? I think males have such confidence in
Yeah.
themselves and in what they do, where women tend to not have as much confidence as they do, right? And that's why we kind of feel like we're trying to elbow our way into things or conversations or roles or whatever it may be. And I think that all just stems from confidence, and being able to match their confidence is going to be extremely important in your type of a role too, you know?
Mhm. Mhm.
And another question I had that I'm really interested about is how you're able to successfully recruit and retain a diverse workforce in this, hyper competitive world of IT. Is it hard to attract women and females into your company and into this industry?
It's the I think the key is really we look for I say A players. So we look for the best people. We use social media really to show what our culture is, the type of people we're looking for. So we have a very diverse, but we don't target anyone. And we find that that has made a very richly diverse company by just looking for great people, because smart, hardworking people with great work ethic like being around other smart, hardworking people with great work ethic. But I think at G2 Ops as a CEO, I never realized it before, but I now I'm in a position to hear it. Young women will come to the company. I own 51% of the company. I have 2 male partners, but it's woman owned. We like that. That's why I'm applying. That's why I looked you up. I did a Google search, system engineering or cyber, and woman owned, or women will come to us at a career fair, college seniors, and I attend some of them, and they are, they're very intrigued by that, and they like to see it. So we have been able to draw, and then these women draw other women.
Right.
So we have a very balanced workforce, and they're comfortable there. They get along with the men just as well too.
Right.
So it's been very interesting to see. But I kind of at this company I actually saw, wow, I think mentoring and being out there has really pulled really great women to the company.
Oh, I love to hear that so much.
Mhm.
And I think a lot of our listeners would be interested to hear about some of the things you're working on, whether it comes to your specific goals. I think some of our listeners, myself included, when we hear the word CEO, we think like, oh, what
Mhm.
could their goals be? What are they working on? What are they, I think it's super fascinating. So, talk to us a little bit about some of your personal goals when it comes to growth in the position that you're in today.
Right, because I always want to improve, what I'm doing, and make for a very healthy company financially. And you have to grow the business. It's healthy, it gives people places to get promoted to, gives them other projects to work on. We're matrix, so people work across projects, and they really enjoy that. But this year we're at 130 people. We've been in the Inc. 5000 for 5 years straight, fastest growing private companies. Very difficult to do that, and hopefully for the 6th year. This year we'll see. Your viewers can check back in.
Yeah.
But we have to. I'm reading a book, Scaling Up by Vern Harsh, and it was Routine Sets You Free. So this year, we're really focusing on policy, processes, and procedures, and ensuring that we're doing things that can be routinized. We're documenting, following checklists, and I call it just firming up our foundation. We've been able to grow, been pretty flat organization, and now we're going to have to add a few more layers and structure. So this year's the focus is really on that, changing that. And then we'll go after some certifications and validation against that, like ISO 9001.
hmm Absolutely. I love to hear that. And you've mentioned a couple books, Lean In.
Hmm.
I love that book so much.
Right.
Great for anyone, female in business or really whatever role. I definitely recommend that. And
Hmm.
Scaling Up as well. But
Right.
do you have any other specific practices, whether that's meditation or exercise or, any different books or podcasts that really help you grow as a leader?
I think personally, I love working out. I go early. I used to go 3 days a week. Now I just go two, and then I run. I'm getting ready to do my 38 half marathon in March. So that's, that keeps me challenged. I'm not fast, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Consistent. I always had a housekeeper. Made that investment even when I first started working. I don't enjoy it, and was able to use that time to exercise or something. So that, that's some of the things I'm into personally. I do play golf. I'm okay, and this year I'd like to work on that maybe a little bit more.
Oh, I love that. I love golf too. That's mine.
Good.
Mine and my husband's sort of bonding activity we love to do together in the summer. It's a super tough, super challenging. I like want to just throw my club every hole and give up. But yeah, it's so fun. I love it. Um So we are in January of 2023. It's a new year. Do you have anything personally or professionally that you hope to accomplish in the next year or anything you want to share that you're working on this year?
Oh, I think personally, I've never been to Alaska, so that's a goal. Whether I get there, it'll at least be booked this year.
Yes,
I've got
yes,
to do that because that's a place you can't go too late in life. I don't think.
absolutely.
I've never been, so and then golf, it's funny, really didn't play much last year. So like to change. I love it because there's no technology around.
I know.
So it's just you and the grass and the trees. So, and then as far as the company, we grow for to stay healthy. We want to make money. So that continued trajectory, because we really want to focus on retaining these great people, and we really want them to flourish. So focusing on them, we reinvesting, and so they can get certifications, training, and once you reach a little tipping point like we have in the last few years, you are able to reinvest, in the employees. You have that cash flow available. So seeing where they can go, and that gives us a competitive advantage too. So
Absolutely.
that's something we're looking at.
Awesome. So, Tracy, do you have any social media or where can our followers connect with you and see what you're working on or see what you're doing?
Okay. Of course, on LinkedIn, it's Tracy Gregorio. And then I do have a Twitter account, Tracy Gregorio. So happy to connect with anyone out there.
Awesome. And we will link those in the show notes as well. But Tracy, thank you so much for everything you've shared today. I know there's tons of women in STEM out there looking for roles and looking for guidance. And so for them to be able to look to you as a leader and see the path that you followed, I think is super important for our listeners and young girls who are in STEM currently. So thank you for sharing everything, and we will link all the social media and even the books that we mentioned in this interview as well. So thank you so much.
Okay. Thank you, Elle. Bye-bye.